to another episode, video, whatever you want to call it. I'm currently on the M6 toll. It is heading home. It's the 10th of March. The weather is not too bad. It's not raining, so that's a bonus. Bit foggy, but it's all right. Yeah, so I've been and bought another bit of equipment. I was scrolling eBay over the weekend, which whenever I get on eBay or Facebook Marketplace is a bad thing. So I end up buying something, which I have. And actually, you can see it in the background. You see, I've got the trailer on. So yeah, don't cheat, but pause the video, drop in the comments what you reckon I've bought. I can tell you it's orange, and it's got a Honda engine on it. So yeah, don't scroll through the video and then go, oh yeah, I know what he's bought. Put it in the comments. Let me know anyway. How is everybody? It's yeah, I'm all right. I had a bit of a rough week last week, the week before. To the point where I thought I was going to throw the towel in. Anyway, it's picking up a bit, so we're getting there. Don't know what else to say. The M6 toll is lovely. £14.80 for me in the trailer, down, and then same again going back up. Bloody hell, almost as expensive as the diesel. Anyway, right, that's enough of me waffling on. I will pick the video back up when we are back in the workshop, and me and you can go through the machine and see what we've got to do. Yeah, that is it. Catch you in a bit. Right, we are back in the workshop. The last clip you saw, we were on the motorway. So we're going to have a look at our new project. It's a bow floor saw. I think it's the 320X compact, I think they call it. Honda GX 390 engine on it. Doesn't come with a blade, which they never normally do. But I was quite surprised that it came with the water tank. That's the plastic of the gauge is missing, but I'm guessing the gauge still works. Yeah, that still works. Doesn't look too dirty in there, does it? I'll say, literally, this is what, 3 or 4 days later since I filmed the first bit of the video. That chain's broken on it. First time I've had to actually look around it properly. So that's what we're going to do today and work out what we need. It's missing the exhaust cover for some reason, unless they don't put them on these. I don't know. I'll have to have a look at a picture of a new one. Let's get my belly around here. The handle looks slightly twisted. Looks like there's a bit of a bend in there. Oh, there you go, kink there, look. So what's happened to that? It's actually got a hole in it. So we'll straighten that out. The handle adjustment is broken. Knob off that's broken. I'm guessing the depth is on that foot pedal, because when you press it, it sort of goes down. It adjusts itself. So I think that's in full transport. That's transport mode now, or highest setting, or whatever it is. I don't really know, to be fair. I don't know much about floor saws. I've used one, as you've probably seen in the shorts. So yeah, we're going to go through this together and work out what we need. We know that comes off because I took that off on the way home, because I didn't want that going flying off down the motorway. So yeah, we'll work out what we need. That hinge. Ah, there you go. Look, that hinges. Should we have a look what state the air filter's in, shall we? I don't even know whether it runs, so we're going to get it going in a minute and see if it works. filthy. Which you would sort of expect for a machine like this. It's got the Cyclone, Honda Cyclone filter housing, so we'll have all that apart and clean it out. I think I'm going to invest in a parts washer, I think. Let's put it back on for now. But we'll see. See if it starts and runs. I don't know what the belts are like, we'll have the guard off in a minute. I'll tell you what, let's put you on the tripod and see if it'll start. Oh, excuse the camera angles, put you on the tripod. So the best thing to do is see if it'll... It's got petroleum in it. It's a 2013 machine. Stick it down there. See if it'll go. Now it's got oil alert on it, so it won't start if it hasn't got any oil. Just check that before we go charging ahead. Yeah, it's got some oil in it. It's black. It's not full. It's got some oil in it. It obviously wants a full service. Switch on then. Fuel is on already. Oh, that's not good. Bouncing around on the trailer. That bends and makes some funny. Let's see if I can show you that. When I pull that over, look, it will show up. You see? Yeah, just about. There's a bolt on the floor there. It needs going back in there. Right, see if we can get it going. Choke on. Sound a bit whiny, like the bearing gone or going, or wants greasing. We'll sort that recoil out. So yeah, at least we know it starts and runs. It's an ex-A-Plant machine by the look of it, because it's got A-Plant stickers all over it, you know, as they do with the hire machines. Put the idiot stickers on, as you have to, because there seems to be no common sense anymore. Yeah, so we'll investigate grumbling noises. We'll have that belt cover off in a second. Let's turn it around. I need a bigger workshop. So that belt cover off and have a look down. I bet it wants a good grease. I don't know the history on this machine. Well, we know a little bit of history. It's ex-hire. I would imagine it was bought brand new from A-Plant, by A-Plant, and then sold on. Apparently the bloke that I bought it off bought it in a bundle of tools or something. So. I think he does the same as me by the look of it, just machinery repairs. So we know we need a new rubber cover on it because that's all worn, broken.
All the belts look pretty good though. 4 belts. SPZ X787. I don't think they're not genuine Bow belts. I'm pretty sure Bow mark their own belts. Let me see. Oh yeah. Bearing. They've got grease nipples on. Let's get that jacked up. I think the front wheel bearing is gone. Certainly the grease cover's missing. Yeah, that front wheel bearing's gone. See if I can show you. Look, the grease cover's missing and it's wobbling around everywhere, so we've got that bearing to replace. The other side is exactly the same, you can see. So we've got the 2 front wheel bearings to replace. AV mounts look okay, I think what we'll do is we'll get the tension off the belts and just check those bearings because they are a bit grumbly. We'll see. So I think what we have to do then is those 4 engine bolts undone, and then wind these back, and that should loosen the belts. We'll get all the belts off, and then we'll just check bearings. It might just, hopefully it just want to grease up, but you never know. So let me grab a 17. It's been half my time looking for bloody spanners, that's the problem. 17? Yeah, 17. Bloody hell. I'll tell you what I did buy the other day. After watching, kick me gun over. After watching Ali's Digger Diaries, I think he bought it, or whether one of his subscribers bought it in, but spanner extension tool. I haven't used it yet. So it just goes on the spanner like that, look. Just gives you a bit of extra leverage. And that makes life a lot easier if you've got the space. I don't think it was that expensive. 12, 15 quid, something like that. Let's put this guard up there. Take that away. Put this back on the floor. This is really quite handy for just cracking them off. And once you crack them off there, I've still got the guard covers in my hands. Loosen them off. At least we know we haven't got to get new belts, that's handy. Oh, that's 4 off. Oh, bloody phone today. I haven't undone them enough. Back on a bit more. What was that? Well, I bought some presents for my little boy for his birthday, beginning of the month, from Smith's Toys. And every bloody day now I'm getting emails from them. Oh, Christ. Calm down. I'm still not enough. I'm just going to take them off almost. Right, well, we'll catch back up when I've got them bouts off. Right, so, bouts are off. Right, so, that's all I say on the beginning of these videos. The bouts are off. There doesn't seem to be any play in the bearings, so either end that I can feel. So, well, I think we're just going to put some grease in them. Probably hasn't been greased for a long time. That looks like that's been rubbing on that grease nipple, but I don't think it has. But that there doesn't look genuine, does it? Tech screw been bodged in there, so that wants a proper bolt through it. As I said, we've got these wheel bearings to do, so we're going to have them wheels off in a minute. See if I've got bearings. But those bearings seem alright, so we'll put some grease in them and then we'll bounce back on and fire it up and see what it's like. Yeah. Cover's a bit manky. I'll take that off and clean it all out. Well, so we'll get that off. Get that undone. Doesn't seem to be any play in it. But look at them grease nipples. They haven't seen a grease gun in a good few months or years. Let's get a rag. And we'll see if they'll accept grease. Hopefully they will do. There's a grease gun. Grease one for that one. Sorry, camera angle's not very good, is it? We've got those two to grease and that centre one to grease there. We'll get the grease gun out and we'll have a look. Let's see if it'll accept grease, shall we? No, that one's just pumping straight back out again. Oh, let me guess. No, it is pumping, so where the hell's that grease going then? Oh, there we go, it's coming out now. So the centre one's accepted grease. No. Get this bloody block back up again. Stupid thing. clear, is it? I can't really get the camera under there properly. Don't think the two bearings don't seem to be accepting grease very well. Just seems to be. Oh, there we go. That's got it in. We'll get a bit more in this one. Just don't make that very easy. Put the angle piece on that because the wheel's in the way to grease that one. Where's me? Let me get the grease box. Grease box. See if that will fit on a bit better. Just. There we go. Now we got grease coming out of it. Some grease back around the bearings. I don't think that's been greased for a long time. That might sound a bit better now. I'll just give it a couple more pumps now it's been. There we go, it's coming out again. Oh. Making a bloody mess everywhere, that's about it. That's all I do with a grease gun. Some more on this side if I can. There we go. Right, now we have grease in all the bearings. Put them bolts back on, tension it back up, and we'll start it and see if it sounds any better. Just clear excess grease off it. I think that rag can go in the bin now. Right, I'll put the bolts back on and we'll catch up in a minute. Just a quick tip for when you're putting these bolts on, obviously take your spark plug. Well, you don't have to take the spark plug out, but it does make it easier. Take your HT lead off when you're doing anything like this, turn the engine over. I know the switch is off, but that switch could malfunction and then you've got a bit of a problem. Oh, my music's just started playing, sorry. Right, where were we before we were interrupted by Eminem? Putting these bolts back on, yeah, so just a quick tip. Spark plug out, because you can turn it over easier. About on there, and then we go tip it forward, lock it over, and then we want to go backwards to get it up on the next pulley. Obviously mind your fingers. Same again, that's all on now, and then forward again to get it back on the next pulley, and then backwards to get it on there, and then back down again to get it on that one. And same again, you've obviously got 4 to do, so because you can't. There we go. Obviously the last one will be the easiest one. And that is back. That's 4 bolts back on. I'll show you how to tension them, which is these bolts here. Want to do it? Slide the engine back. Send tensions on there a bit loose at the moment still. So those bolts are now tight. The engine, those bolts are now on max reach, so they're all right at the moment, but they're probably going to need a new set soon. So make sure that they're tight, locked off, which they are, and then do your engine nuts back up. Obviously you've got all 4 to do. Yeah, I'll catch back up when we get to the next clip. Next clip, I think we'll get them bottom wheels off and see if we've got some bearings for them. Let's see if that sounds a bit better now. I've just had the recoil off and cleaned it and WD-40 the pulls and everything. Let's see if this sounds a bit better now. Nope, the answer to that. Really doesn't start very well, does it? Sound much better. I think we're gonna have the bowl off the carb and give that a clean out. That recoil's still not very nice. I mean, it's going back in now. Bottom off the carb, I can just see the clean bowl out, see what it's like. But that sounds much quieter now, bearing wise. This guard off, straighten all that up because that's all bent and twisted out of shape. I don't know how whether it comes off of the nut or whether it's captive or what. Not feeling a nut or anything. That goes back in nicely now. It's non-genuine recoil, and all the bolts non-genuine. For some reason they're missing. I don't know why. When you take the recoil off, surely you put another one back on. Unless in its life it's been a parts donor, and somebody's tried getting it going again. Don't know. But they're non-genuine bolts. Yeah, that's about all I've got to say on the subject at the moment. Let's have that bowl off. There's the bowl off. There's a little bit of muck in the corner. The petrol is stale as, so that's not going to help with running. Obviously the air filter's blocked. Dirty. Needs a new spark plug. And so it's not going to run the best as it is. But surprisingly cleaner than I was expecting. Probably going to drain all the fuel out now then, put some fresh in, see if I've got a 390 air filter. I'm sure I have. I know I used the last 160 on the Wacker plate the other day, so there'll be another LS order coming soon. Yeah, I might put an order into SGS Engineering for... Well, I've got that SGS multi-tool that's tucked in the corner that needs a new recall, so I need to order that, but I might order a parts cleaner while I'm at it so I can get all this system cleaned out and sorted. I'll clean that bowl out, put it back together, see how it goes. Yeah, I've got a sticker for that. Well, it wasn't for this machine, it was bought for something else, but we never used it. So that 390 sticker can go on there. We'll sort this handlebar out, find out why it's twisted. It looks burnt almost. That's got to be sorted. I don't know what's missing off of there. We'll have a look. Drained the tank, and that was a clean jug. So yeah, that was some crappy petrol. I thought while that's draining, I'll just take this guard off because I noticed, well, it's all, I mean, it's all mangled up and twisted and bent out of shape. Noticed there was a split just there, so that'll have to be straightened up. And I would imagine when we're straightening all the rest of it up, it's might split somewhere else. I noticed that's all full of crap around there, and it's actually got a hole in it, so we might have to cut that out and put a new spacer in. I thought, well, it's a bit of a bad shape. We'll see how much a new one is. Just had a quick look how much a new one is. Yeah, we'll repair that one. 400 quid they want for a new one of them. £400. Yeah, maybe not. We'll just repair that one. So where are we now at this stage? I'm just soaking that big nut to see if we can get that off. Because that's your blade holder. Engine service next then. Still got to do and then we're going to make a list. Once the engine service, we'll make a list of stuff we need. Off the top of my head, wheel bearings. I'm going to leave them belts on because they're tight and they're all right, so they'll do for a bit. Wheel bearings, that handle that's snapped. I think that's it, to be fair. Oh, and this little rubber protective strip thing goes around the bout guard. We'll clean that bout guard out and everything. Unless I find anything else, I think that's about it. Oh, rubber grip handles are missing. I'll just take that apart in a minute, and that's got to be straightened because that's bent. I think that's about it. Yeah, you've seen me, if you watch the channel since we've started, you've seen me service these Honda GX engines time and time again. You don't need to watch me do that. So I'm going to do a service on that, and we'll put the video back up when we've got to the engine service and we've got to something a bit more interesting, if it can get any more interesting. Right, so new air filter on. I just thought I would clean this air filter system out, and got one screw out and managed to try to get the other two out, but they were seized solid and I've managed to bust the air filter housing. So yeah, so we need new ones of them. I think that itself, you can't buy it all one separately, you have to buy it separately. That itself is 23 quid and that is 28 quid and that is 20 quid, but I'm going to clean that up because that's not broken, that's perfectly fine. And same again with that, clean that up. But we're just going to have to get two new ones of these, which is really helpful, which is annoyed me, but oh well, such is life. The seized solid in there. I did soak them for 15-20 minutes, but couldn't get them undone. Ended up snapping one. I thought, oh, I'll snap now, so I'm gonna have to buy a new one anyway, so I just snapped the other one off. Anyway, we'll get this cleaned out. I can go back on for a bit just to protect the airfill for now, and I will order the other two cyclone bits and get this cleaned. Right, so we're back on the floor saw and I'm trying to sort this guard out. I thought I might be able to just get it in the vise and straighten it and bend it and manipulate it back into shape, but that hasn't worked. But it is now going up and down and catching lovely. But I've had to do a bit of cutting and straightening. I mean, you can see how bent and knackered that was and how out of shape it was. I've tried, this has spent the last, what, 10-15 minutes just trying to beat it with a hammer and try and straighten it all up. Now I've got that apart, I'm going to weld a new bush in there. I've got a bit of rough sheet steel there to weld back in. I've got the pipe to go, water pipe to go back on, but I'm going to have to find a new one because it rusted through. I don't think I cut it with the grinder when I cut it off, but it rusted through, so that's to be sorted out. So yeah, that's where we're at the moment. Why don't you just buy a new one? Because they're 480 quid. I ain't spending 480 quid on a guard. It's ridiculous. Especially when you've got to think about profit margins of selling that back on again. If I was keeping it for myself, then maybe. Well, I wouldn't have bothered if I was keeping it for myself. I'd just do what I'm doing. Or left the guard as it is. But anyway, so we're going to carry on straightening that out, and we'll get that welded in there and get some paint on it, and with that guard done then. Right, so here we go. We are on the guard. I can't remember what I showed you last. I think the last clip I showed you was me cutting that off. So we've made a bit more progress. Obviously that was your blade, your carrier thing, which has got a massive hole in it. So we've welded a new one. Don't look at that. We've drilled through and made a new one. Welded it both sides. Again, I'm not a professional welder, but I can make metal stick, so that's sort of the main thing. That's all sort of welded in round, shone up. So I'm just repairing this water pipe, the water dribbler that had got a big hole in it. So I've just, where is it? There's part of it, look. I don't know where the other half went. The other half might have gone on the floor. So yeah, just cut 2 fresh ends on it and welded it up. And I've just blown some brake cleaner through it and shone the light through. You can't really see it on the camera, but it's not blocked anyway. See if I can get it to... Not really. But yeah, it's not blocked anyway. So I'm going to tidy all that up, that bit of weld, because that is shocking. And then we'll see if we can get that sat back in there then. Just like that. Might have to sort something out that end. Yeah, went like that. Get it sideways onto the plate, that's it. And then tack that in there like that. That fits in there like that, and we'll weld all that up. I'm going to tidy all this up first, and I might stick a bit of paint on it maybe. But yeah, that's that. You'll catch back up when I've cleaned this up, and I might video me welding that in maybe, I don't know. We'll see. Got ahead of myself there. I said I was going to video myself welding the water pipe back in, but I forgot. Anyway, it's welded in on the inside. I'm just filling in the gaps at the top. I'm only sort of spot welding it. I'm not sort of full welding because it's just, well, it will be a full weld, but it's just on off sort of thing. It's not, you'll see. Just so we don't keep blowing holes in it. Missed. Anybody else have this problem with welding off? bloody thing won't stay up. Doesn't matter how tight you do the knobs up on the side. The bloody thing will not stay up. To be fair, it's an SIP industrial. It's just a cheap one from Halfords because my last one packed up. And I needed a welding mask that day, so I had to go to Halfords because that was the closest place at the time. So I got one. I think I need to invest in a proper welding. Well, that is a proper welding helmet, but a decent welding helmet. Right, so let's switch the welder off. Because I think we're all done welding now. So gas off. Release the valve. Undo that. Key away. There. Back on there and switch it off. Now plug it. Grab the make the weld look better tool. Right, well, there we have it. For that, apart from, I've got to scrape and grind the paint off that in a minute. But apart from that, that is one bow floor saw blade cover remanufactured. I'm quite happy with that, to be fair, and remanufactured for free materials. The bit of, let me take off the tripod. The bit of steel I used for this side came from a Rhinox Quick Hitch box. It was in the bottom of the box, so I thought, oh, I'll have that because that will be coming handy for someday. And if any of you watch the channel, wonder if anybody could tell me what this came from. Drop it in the comments if you do know where that came from. But that was the perfect diameter to go on that shaft down there, so got cut and welded into there. So all the repairs are fully recyclable. It's all been recycled. So it pays to keep these bits of metal. Yeah, so I'll use that. I'm going to get some paint on that in a minute once I've cleaned that. I don't think I've got any Bal Orange. Whether I paint it a different colour, I know I've got black, I've got Terex grey, Terex yellow. I might have some Skag yellow left over, but I think that's a completely different colour. Or I might just order some Bal Orange, because I know you can get that on eBay or Cramp. Oh, well, actually, instead of me waffling, should we put it on? That's how we put it on. Yeah, I've got to find a bolt that goes in there. The bolt, that's a bolt that goes in there and wants a bit of grease and wants cleaning up. And then that pipe just slots on there like that. That's from the water tank there then. So yeah, essentially that is all done. Engine's now fully serviced. I'm just waiting for obviously the cyclone bit that I bust. Next job on it, I've got a load of part numbers for all the bow bits that we need. I think I'm just going to order a new one of these because they're 35 quid. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. I don't even know whether that comes undone yet. We need a new handle for that. That's meant to have an on-off switch for the engine, but they want 55 quid for an on-off switch and then 35 quid for a bit of wiring harness. I mean, the on-off switch is there. It's then going to take 2 seconds to go. Just reach round and go, oh, I'll switch it off there. So I ain't going to bother reinstating that. That's just ridiculous. Water guard. There should be a bit of a rubber flap down here or something, but again they want 35 quid for a bit of rubber flap. I'll cut a bit of this. I've got some of this rubber left over. I'll cut a bit of that to go on there. Yeah, and we still got front wheels to do, but I need a bearing puller for that, so I've ordered a bearing puller to get the front wheels off. Yeah, we'll see you in a bit. Right, got a bit further with it. I've managed to wrestle the handle off the back because the broken stud in there was C-solid, which we've managed to get out now. So yeah, we need a new handle, but them threads are knackered. So we're going to have to get a new one of them. We may need to cut the nut off the back of that and weld a new one on, but we'll see when it comes. So we've got the handle out now and apart. It's straight, it's got a bit of a kink there. It's straight, I ain't going to bother replacing that. It's 35 quid for that bar. I mean, it's not too bad, but there's nothing wrong with that one. All the AV rubbers are perfectly fine. We're missing one 10mm bolt. That's a 10mm socket. 6mm bolt, I think. Yeah, that's that. We need handle grips to finish off the handle then. That's slightly bent, but I think that's meant to be bent like that, because that's what clamps against the back of the there, stop that from sliding up and down. So yeah, we've chucked a bit of paint on that. It's just hand brushed on, so yeah, nothing special, but it'll do, won't it? That is that for now. It is, what time is it? It's 9:30, so at night, and I've had enough for today, so I'm going to go home. Might order a few bits, and we'll catch up when the bits are here. Right, good morning. We are back on the floor saw this morning. So I have put a bit of paint on the shaft, handle and casing. It's a bit rough this morning because I've had a bloody flu and cold this week, so getting over that. Managed to pick some bearings up yesterday when I went to Banbury to look at a job. Thought while I'm there I'll pop into our local bearing place and grab some bearings for these wheels. So we'll put the handle back in and on, and then we'll get these bearings out and get them replaced. And then at least I can get the wheels back on and get it movable. I've ordered all the other bits we need for it, so I'm just waiting for them to turn up. We'll get this back together and we'll pick up when we start the bearing job. Right, so we're on bearing removal. I thought I'd cut the outer race with the die grinder, but it didn't touch it at all. Hammering in chisel didn't make any difference at all. So I've just run some very dodgy weld, because I didn't clean it up, in the race, and it's popped straight out with a chisel, a couple of bangs. So we've got 3 more to do like that then. Try and pop that centre out, clean all that up, put a new one in. So yeah, that is number 2 done. One more to do. Well, 2 more bearings to do, 1 more wheel to do. There we have it. Those 4 bearings are out. One of them came out without having to destroy it. Well, I don't know why I'm trying to pick it up with vices because it's not hot. That one came out lovely. The last one, that put up a fight. Of course, the metal ring didn't come out of that nylon wheel, so to weld it in it's slightly melted it a little bit, but I think we'll just get the blowtorch and just melt that plastic back in. Yeah, they're all out, so we're going to clean it all up inside there with a flappy wheel on the die grinder, and we'll get these new bearings put back in. I'll get that pressed back in. We'll pick up when we've got the new bearings in. But yeah, that's what's left of the bearings. Right, so that's the first bearing pushed back in. I've shone it all up with the Milwaukee die grinder and a little flappy wheel. Anybody thinking about investing in a die grinder, I highly recommend the Milwaukee one, or just a die grinder to be fair. This has got me out of so much mess.
I thought it's one of them tools that you think, well, you're never going to use, and then you buy one and then you use it all the bloody time. Right, so where were we before I got distracted by die grinders? Bearings, that's what we're doing. Right, so we got one in, so we got the spacer to go in. Remember, if you have got how these things come apart, they've got to be put back together properly. How you found it, so spacer's gone in. Open it all up. I've got a bit of multi-purpose grease, just stick it around the edge. Just helps, doesn't it? Don't want to go in dry. So I've just got like a nylon soft blow hammer. Make sure that spacer hasn't moved while you're whacking it. Right, pretty much got that home. Just send it that last little bit with the vise if we can. And there we go. That is 2 wheel bearings replaced. That's that one done. Now on to the next one. Again, I've shone this up already. Slightly melted that when I did the old bearing race. Where's my blowtorch? Get that to melt back in. I can fill that hole up. There we go, that's filled that hole up. Again, that's another little thing worth investing in. Sealy mini micro blowtorch. It's really handy for doing recalls, jobs like this, bits and bobs, or even just lighting a bonfire. Better than a lighter. Again, distracted by tools. Put rubbish away. Same again, just a bit of grease all the way around the edge. This one doesn't want to go back in properly. Oh, there's a bit of a lip there where I've bashed it to get it off the shaft. Okay, alright, we'll have to do that one in a minute. Let's put this one this side in then. Just give it a squeeze with the vise to make sure it is sent home. It's not quite sent home yet. There we go. That's now flush. Goes around nice and smooth. Right, I probably should have just ground that edge before I put that bearing in, because now we're going to get crap on the bearing, but hey ho. Hopefully that's enough. It feels like it's got the lip off. Space up. Don't forget that, otherwise we'll be having bearings back out again. Oh, this one's being awkward. I'm going to push with the vice or not. I need a press. Will make life a little easier. There we go. That sounds a lot better than that. Right, let me show you then. There we have 2 new wheels to put on, and £26 and what, an hour or two's labour. They're £112 a piece, so it saved us a bit. Probably not a lot when you add the labour up to it, but I don't add the labour onto it because this is a hobby for me. This machine is mine, so it's my time, my labour, whatever else, so I don't have to charge, I don't have to worry about that. Probably when you sat down and worked it out, you might be not far off buying 2 new wheels if you're doing it for a customer. Because what's that? Well, you'd have bought 1 probably, maybe, with the labour of 2 hours. What, £50 an hour, and then 26 quid. Yeah, you'd have bought 1. So still, we're still got a save in there anyway. So I'm going to chuck these back on. I've put the handle back on. I haven't got the adjustable knob yet because that's broken and that's on order. So we can put these wheels back on. And that is all I can do with that then for today, because we're still waiting for the bits to come. I suppose we'll have a bit of a tidy up. So back on the floor saw, we have a few parts arrived. Handle grips, arbor blade pin, and the rear handle for the adjustment handle on the back of this. So that is, yeah, is good. I've just cut a new one of these because those threads are knackered on the end of that. So I've just cut another one out of a bit of bar. So we'll get that on. Yeah, we'll just get it on. Right, there you go. There's the handle back on now. So that undoes and does up, which is quite good. And then you press the button to adjust it wherever you want it. So yeah, that's that done. That is good. I had to tap that nut out on there because the threads are knackered in the bar, which is knackered the threads in the bolt, and that is that. Anyway, next job is get these grips on. So when the grips are on, just got to wipe the excess lube off because, as everybody knows, you never go in dry. Right, there we have it. It's all done. One complete floor saw. If you like this video, like, subscribe and share and comment, and thanks for watching.